Good morning, amazing people, and welcome to Keyman Community Live. I am presenter MKPNK.
And of course, this is the real deal, the big voice in construction. My name is Brian Jenga. Karibu sana ndani ya mpango mzima wa Keyman Community Live. Good morning. Wewe ambaye unatuwatch ukiwa YouTube, wewe ambaye unatuwatch ukiwa TikTok, good morning. You can tell us where you're watching us from. Remember, at Keyman Stores, at Keyman Community Live, we come to you each and every morning of the week from Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We have amazing discussions. On Monday tunakuaga na professional kwa industry ya construction.
Yep.
On Tuesday tunachezaga na nani? Tunachezaga na master.
Yeah.
Alafu on Wednesday tunaingia systems. On Thursday tunarudi kwa professional but story time.
Yeah.
And then on Friday tunakafunga. So if you're joining us right now, this is the right place to be, and of course this is your right place to listen to. Remember, you can tune in ukidrive, ukienda kazi, kama una drive, kama unaenda kazi, unaweza tu kwa pods pale, unatembea tu ukipiga nini pale hivyo. Yeah, and of course we have amazing conversations. But how are you and how have you been? Wewe umekuaje kutoka jana?
Niko amazing. I thank God for peace.
Yes.
And for taking care of me, for taking care of this amazing community that we have. Remember, this is a community of builders. We talk about matters construction. We tell you how construction is becoming affordable day by day. Also telling you to let the systems take care of your money. Embrace the systems because hata technology tunaambiwa ikikuja vile imekuja mnaipokea tu ama namna gani?
Kabisa.
Yes.
And remember to follow us on our TikTok account at Keyman Stores, and of course you can tap the live. Alafu wenye wako YouTube, you can remember also to subscribe. Asanteni sana. As we continue, inakuwa ni noma sana.
Exactly. Remember, inakuanga ni masaa mawili yani ya kudondosha mambo muhimu ya construction. And of course today we are going to have Alex, who is a master, and our topic is amazing. We have touched about it in our conversations hapo nyuma kidogo, na leo sasa tutaweza kuifafanua kwa undani zaidi. Remember, on Keyman Community Live, you have an opportunity of coming here na ukae hapa tusemezane, yani tupige story, whether you are a service provider in construction, you sell materials in construction, you have that opportunity of coming here. And coming here is very easy. You just need to onboard on Keyman Stores, get a KS number, get verified. Na ni hivyo ndo umefika hapa, unakuja unaambia watu what you do, tell them your services or tell them the materials that you sell, na inakuwa rahisi na inakuwa tamu tena sana.
Asanteni sana. A very big shout out kwa wenye wanaendelea kujoin on TikTok. Thank you Mam Selina. I can see who, let me just check it out. Haraka hapa naona Mam Selina, naona namwish.vic, karibuni sana. Thank you so much. Remember, you can share the live, you can tap the screen. Itasaidia sana. You might be asking yourself, what is Keyman Stores? You can tell us what is Keyman Stores, right. And of course, how does it relate to Keyman Community Live?
Keyman Stores is a digital platform that belongs to people in construction. You get a digital store there and you get to sell materials or service that you have. An example is you are an architect, you are a fundi, you are a painter, a welder, watu wote. You get a digital store there. Instead of people just walking physically to your store, they can also check out your store hapo Keyman Stores. And also how Keyman Stores relates to Keyman Community Live. When you join Keyman Stores, you have an opportunity of coming here and marketing yourself to people for free. We don't charge anything. Kukuja kukaa hapa na kuambia watu kile kitu ambacho unafanya.
Kabisa. And of course the only thing that you need to sit here ni kukua tu na KS number. Na KS number basically ni register tu kwa platform. Once umeregister kwa platform, sio lazima uwe verified ndio upate KS number. Once umeregister tu kwa platform, utapata KS number.
Yes.
Now to transact business on the platform is where now you need to be verified.
Right. Yes.
I think it's high time to pig a shout out kwa our
TikTok
international fans.
Oh, international fans.
International fans. And we start right from leo tuanze na Houston, Texas.
Yes.
Ni saa 6:08
saa 6
za usiku.
Okay.
They are 8 hours behind.
All right.
Uko ni good morning ama good evening?
Uko ni good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Guangzhou, China ni saa 7:08. They're exactly 5 hours ahead. Adelaide, the big city, it is 15:38 hours. Good afternoon to you. Harare, nilikwambia Harare iko wapi?
Au kwa niambia, ulikataa kuniambia.
Nilikuambia.
You told me to find out for myself.
Nakwambia kesho. Harare ni saa 1:08. They are 1 hour behind us. Madrid, it is 6:08 in the AM. Lagos, Nigeria ni 6:09 in the AM. Alafu Singapore ni 13:09 hours. Alafu the big city is Nairobi, Kenya. It is exactly 8:09 AM. Good morning. And where are you watching us from? Naona ni 17 degrees Celsius in Nairobi. Watu wana freeze kufreeze.
Unaona?
Watu wana freeze kufreeze. But anyway, kama haujaishi Limuru, wewe hujui kufreeze ni nini.
Haujui baridi ni nini.
So you can imagine if Nairobi is 17 degrees Nairobi.
What about
Limuru? Actually ukifika Limuru ni kitu.
But
uoni.
But if you get used to it, by the way, unaonanga kama kawaida.
People get used to kusikia baridi.
Si ndio? Anyway, kwani watu wenye wako kwa joto si they get used to kusikia joto?
Mnaweza tuambia kwa TikTok, do you get used to kusikia baridi ama
Let me ask you. Sasa watu wenye walizaliwa huko, what do they do? What do you want them to do? Si lazima wakae huko na wazoe. Like it's just something they are used to. It's not a big deal.
Anyway, haina shida. Bwana director anauliza South Korea ni saa ngapi?
Ngoja, actually, I've not heard you mention my friends from Tanzania, Rwanda, and Uganda.
We share the same time. We share the same time.
Yes, but I never hear you give shout outs to them.
Nikisema Nairobi, it is East African time.
Bana. You mentioned them. You know me, I have friends from Rwanda. So you want me to assume that they are in Kenya now because we share the same time zone? Okay. No.
Yeah, there was a friend I saw you with. I think pia kwa construction, si ndio? Ako kwa platform.
Shout out to Diana Umrerugwa.
I'm registered kwa platform. I'm registered kwa platform.
Nilikuwa na yeye. Wapi? Wapi?
Wachana na yeye. Good morning Diana Umrerugwa. How are you doing? Kuna ule wa Uganda na bado niko sure kwa construction. It is exactly 14:10 hours in South Korea. Uko wanatumia GMT +9. So man,
si tuambie in full
hata wewe.
14
Greenwich Meridian Time. 14:10 hours in 14:10 hours in South Korea.
That's saa 8.
Ni saa 8.
Ukituambia 14 unajua
14:10 hours is in 24 hours clock system. Unajua hujui. Mimi nilikuwa na shine.
Nimejua aje ni saa 8 sasa basi. Si ningesema ni saa 14.
Haya, sawa. But anyway, wewe ambaye umejumuika nasi leo, you have joined us today. Stanley the plumber, I can see you. You have a chance to sit on this seat hapa hivi ndani ya Keyman Community Live. And how do you do that? You do that by just reaching out to us on WhatsApp 0757539000. 0757539000. You can reach out to us, alafu tutakwambia vile utaweza kukuja hapa na uweze kukaa hapa kwa hii show. You can be able to sell yourself, you can be able to speak what you do to your masses, and then unaweza kuregister pia kwa platform so that you can be able to earn an extra living. You can also become a plug today. And how do you become a plug? You become a plug by going through a training session ya siku 2 ukiwa tu kwa WhatsApp. Si ati ni mahali pengine, uko tu hapo hivyo kwa WhatsApp. Alafu once umetrainiwa vitu 2-3 auendi darasa yoyote, ni hapo tu. You will be able now to onboard people. Now, who do you onboard? You onboard mafundi, you onboard watu wa mjengo, you onboard actually mtu yeyote mwenye unafikiria ako involved
kwa construction.
Yes.
Kama anauza materials, kama ni plumber, painter, hao watu wote. Alafu pia watu wenye wana provide services kama architects, contractors, hao watu wote. It is very easy. And when you become a plug, there's very easy ways. There are very easy ways of earning, and the first one is by just onboarding someone and they get verified. When they get verified, you receive 350 shillings kwa account yako. Remember, ndo receive your pesa, lazima pia wewe kama plug ukue verified, because verification means that you have a bank account where you can receive money. So mtu akiverifyiwa na ni wewe ume onboard na umeweka referral code yako hapo, anafanya nini? Hiyo pesa inakuja kwako 350 Kenyan shillings. And then the second one is helping people make contracts. Now you've helped people on board, nini. And then there reaches a point where someone needs to buy materials from, an example, from a hardware. A foreman just decides that he wants to buy materials from a hardware this morning, and you refer them to that hardware and you help them make a contract, or you make a contract on behalf of them. Remember, I think kila mahali unaweka code yako, referral code yako.
Yes.
Ndio? That is your KS number.
Referral code unajua inakusaidia na the number of work. Okay, tulisema kuna KS portfolio. So kuna the number of people wenye umeweza kurefer na kuna some few mahali ya kupata tu pesa. So that's how the referral code now helps.
So ukisaidia watu kumake contract pale, there is 50 shillings ambayo pia itakuja kwako automatically. And finally, when you help people make deals, ukiambia mtu aende materials fulani from a certain hardware and your deal waweze kuclose hiyo deal, then you also get to receive from as low as 20 shillings to 200 Kenyan shillings, but that is a tip, and it depends on whether that person or mtu ambaye umesaidia, they want to tip you. If they don't want to tip you, then unatulia tu.
Kabisa. Now we move to the next point, na ndi wale wenye wameweza kujoin Keyman stores.
Yes, the reason why we do this is to make people know that you exist on Keyman stores and make them trade with you, trust you, because when you are on Keyman stores, it is trust in construction. So whenever you hear us mention someone here, know that you can trade with them, but remember, trade with those who are verified, those who have a green tick.
Kabisa. And now we move to the key stores numbers, ama the stores zenye zimeweza kujoin Keyman stores. And how do we do that? You just log on to www.keymanstores.com. Ukifika pale, whether you have an account or not, you'll be able to see all the stores that have been registered pale. Na kuziona, it means each store has a KS number, which is a unique identification number. And then from that point, to trade with them, now they need to be verified. Na tulisema kuwa verified ni kulipa that verification amount, na ni 750 Kenya shillings, and that means you have a bank account to trade with. Anyway, that means ni mahali penye ukifanya biashara, mahali penye pesa itawekwa, because kama hauna account number, pesa itawekwa wapi?
Hakuna.
Understand? So there must be a place where pesa itawekwa. And now we move directly to Elite Timber and Product Supplies Limited, KS 455. Karibuni sana, Elite Timber and Product Supplies. The location is in Nakuru. You can view them on Google Maps on the platform. And then about them, we have all you need in one place. Elite Timber Product Supplies Hardware Store. Their location is Nakuru. Na wameweka contact details zao. Now, if you are a store na uko pale nje and you need to register, how do you do that? You just log on to keymanstores.com and then utaweza ku register pale where you become a supplier. Now you see, once you become a supplier, now you'll be able to mention you. Now, if you are in Nakuru and you need hardware products, timber solutions, you can always reach out to Elite Timber Products Supplies Limited. Wameka namba yao pale, but always remember, always transact using a key contract, ama always transact using a contract. Ba hapo hivyo umeandikiwa get a secure contract with elite suppliers. Now we move next. Now how we moved from that, tunatoka tu pale tunarudi tu kwa ile page yenye tulikuwa tumeangalia. There are so many pages, over 25 pages kwa platform. So once you just look at it, you'll be able to see, or you can also search. You can also search ile kitu yenye unahitaji na utaweza kuipata. Now we move on to the next supplier. Now wanajiita Chawakama Plumbing Limited. Now they offer services KS457. The location is in Nairobi, Ngara. You can also view them on Google Maps. Alafu description coming soon.
Yes.
I'll check a description.
Right.
But anyway, you'll be able to view them. Now you see, for you who is a supplier na umeingia kwa platform na hujaweza kuweka your about, hujaweza kuweka the categories of and services that you do, it's a challenge now to get work, because yes, uko kwa platform, uko kwa system.
But
the system are supposed to make you to be trusted, but haujamaliza the process ya kutengeneza hiyo kitu, so it becomes very hard.
Right. We take a short break. Keep commenting and keep talking to us on TikTok and of course on YouTube. This is Keyman Community Live. I am presenter MK, PMK. Welcome back, amazing people, to this amazing, safe and smart space. This is Keyman Community Live. I am presenter MK, PMK.
And of course, this is the real deal, the big voice in construction. My name is Branjenga. Karibu sana ndani ya mpango mzima wa Keyman Community Live. Keyman Community Live is brought to you courtesy of www.keymanstores.com, where we buy safe and we build smart.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, did you know that after building, you can book a trip with Adventure Go Kenya? You go to the mountains and to the forest. And of course, ukienda huko usikia umechoka kidogo, unamalizia Keyman address ya Airbnbs in Nyeri County. Unasikia aje hiyo?
Wewe, hiyo ni advert imeenda shule.
Hapana, but it's true, you know, wakati unajua kuna wakati mtu anasikianga manzemi, I need to go somewhere to relax my mind. And Adventure Go Kenya, mali naona wakienda una experience nature. Wacha hivyo naonanga mkipiga jua hivi mnasema nature. Hiyo nayo unaiona hapa kwa hapa. Alafu sasa after hiyo unapumzika. Unajua pia ukipanda mlima utachoka kidogo kama director wetu. Sasa unaweza pumzika kwa BNB. Usisumbuane na watu huko nyumbani sana.
Kabisa.
Anyways,
BNB pia sio lazima ati uko umeenda tu mlima. Unaweza amka tu useme bwana, hii wiki nataka niende nilale huko hata nione vile watu wanaishi maisha.
Exactly. Na usiseme ati jueni builder, ati jueni fundi ama nini, hatuwezi enda huko.
No,
huko ni kwa kila mtu.
Ni kwa kila mtu. BNB hazina ati ni specific people, but anyway, karibuni sana.
Hey jamani, asante sana for I hope people on TikTok unaweza wapiga shout out kidogo.
Watu wa TikTok? Naona Nixon 254 na naona Wagwan ameweza kujoin pale. I can also see Brian Jenga, who is me, na director. Tuko sawa tu.
Right. So yesterday we had Lydia McKelvin and we talked about pricing and costing, and specifically we said that costing is not guesswork. Si kitu unaamka hivi na unajiambia ati hii wacha nilipisha hivi ama hii wacha nifanye hivi. It is something that involves kuangalia vitu kama materials, labor, transport, the hidden costs, hizo vitu zote. They are not to be ignored. So if it's not guesswork, unakumbuka Lydia akituambia, then what is it if it's not guesswork? Ni ku-include hizo vitu zote. But you know today's topic?
Yeah, today's topic I know. why is cheap expensive, sindio?
Why cheap work is expensive.
Yes.
And we're saying that low pricing, it leads to poor quality and rework. And of course, cheap is expensive in construction. We had mentioned that earlier, wakati tuliwahi ongea na Alex kwa topic ingine, but now today we want to dive deep into it. And I want us to look at how underpricing ina lead to, underpricing inaweza lead to failure of construction. That's what I want us to ask ourselves.
Underpricing, taking from what nililearn jana, of course there was a story, na the story was about how, acha nikupe example. Saizi mimi na hustle sana. Of which ni ukweli na hustle sana, si uongo. Na I might need some work, sindio? Na that means I'm looking at sina kazi, so nahitaji sana kutafuta hiyo kazi, sindio? So what happens, the first work unapata, unataka ku please the developer, you understand? So you end up doing overpromise, you end up overpromising, unasema tutafanya, tutafanya, kitu kama hiyo, and then you find yourself umeweza ku underprice. Na the best example yenye tulipewa ni DM Kelvin, alisema wakati alikuwa anaanza kazi hakuwa na idea, you understand?
Yes.
So akaitisha kazi, na kuna hii mchanga fulani alisema inaitwa black cotton. Black cotton. So wakati walifika kwa site akapata kumejaa black cotton. You understand? So there was a need to remove the black cotton. So a need arose ama ili arise, ndio. Na the need was excavation. So there was that need to excavate. And you see, in the initial plan, there was no
excavation.
You understand?
Yes.
So hapo unakuta kuna an extra cost yenye, because you did not price it, you did not say it mapema, inabidi ingia mfuko yako.
Yes.
But remember, ebu imagine kama sikuingia kwa mfuko yako in this case, ukaamua haki ya nani nikiambia developer pesa extra inahitajika, kutaenda aje? Unaona mambo itachemka.
Ati mimi nitumie pesa yangu ya nani kuhaso na haso.
Unaona hata hauna. Ukiambia developer atasema hujui kitu unafanya.
Ama pia akwambie jenga tu vile iko. Ukijenga vile
haizi kuambia because anajua.
Kama anajua sawa.
But sasa juu ni wewe ndio uko hapo, sema hapa lazima tufunike mashimo. You decide now to build on that place. You understand?
Yes.
So if you decide to build on that place, number one, the quality of the work will be bad, because venye tu DM alisema, you can't build on that black cotton soil. You understand? Could be inaweza angusha nyumba. Could be inaweza kosa kushika vizuri. You understand? Ama ichafue, whatever happens, but the quality of work basically will reduce.
Yes. I think that's a perfect example. And from what you're saying, napata that you're trying to say that underpricing ina lead to hidden costs.
Yes.
Juu hiyo hauko umeona. And another perfect example to explain that out of construction is, you see when you receive a salary and you've only paid rent, au kumbuki vitu zingine, unasema tu ni ya rent tu, unasahau bills zingine kama token, unasahau kitu kama maji na lipangwa. So ukishalipa rent na
hata maji huwezi sahau. Most circumstances huwezi sahau maji, because maji unashikanishaga na rent. What inasahaulikaga sana ni token.
Yes. So you try you suffer later trying to cover for those costs.
Actually inapoteaga, unakumbuka wow sikuwa nimeka token. Yes, exactly. So that's how I feel like that's how underpricing ina lead to hizo challenges.
Can underpricing lead to rushed work? Okay, let's look at it this way. So underprice mahali. Okay, niwe underprice ama ni mtu amekufinyililia. Either way, amekufinyililia akafanya ufike underprice.
From experience,
kufinyiliwa ama ni wewe. Of course wewe unaweza mimi naweza underprice nikitaka tu.
No, unajua kuna professional bargainers.
Yeah.
Kuna professional bargainers, na usipokuwa rada, you'll be bargained down.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it could be budget from the developer haitoshi. You understand? And you see most professionals tunaogopa kusema walai hiyo budget yako hai make sense, and at the end of the day mimi ndio nitakuja kuumia simply because I need that work. You understand? Me personally I need that work. You understand? So what will I say? Kama mbaya
Yes.
Tuenda mbele tukijua vile kutakuwa. You understand? And the quality of work keeps deteriorating pole.
Yeah.
You understand? So underpricing can be from the developer side or the fundi side ama the service provider side.
Yeah.
You understand? And in this case I think ni best kuongea kuhusu contractors, because wale ndio wanasukuma hiyo project.
Yeah. And of course I think it also leads us to rework ama rework. Juu wakati sasa umerush kazi and imeharibika, mambo inakuwa mbaya yani, unaona? And of course there will be things like client regret and regret, sasa mbona nilimfinyililia, later on mambo ikiharibika, the person ambaye anajenga atakuja kukuambia, si nilikuambia hivi na hivi na hivi ukasema hivi na hivi. So client ako like wow.
I feel like also kuna the clients wenye wamejipanga. For example, on Keyman stores there is that escrow account, and you see with that escrow account you can be able actually to just put ile pesa yenye utumii in case unahitaji mali pa kurusha pesa. You can put it there because it's a wallet, it's a basic wallet. You can just put money there na itulie pale hivyo. Remember, Keyman stores does not hold money. It is the bank account that holds the money.
Yeah.
So the same way that you use any other bank account is the same way that you use this bank account. You understand?
Yeah.
So in that case, umeweka tu pale hivyo imetulia. So kuna wale clients wenye already washajipanga. For example, tuliambiwa jana na Lidiema, kujenga si ngumu.
Yeah.
You just need to have the plan.
Yeah.
Ongea na architect. Naongea na quantity surveyor. Ujengewe your dream house and you have the bills of quantities ready. You understand?
Uandikiwe
na uchorewe kila kitu. So the dreams does not only become a dream, it becomes a goal.
Yes.
You understand? So kuna client mwenye already ako na dream house na imechorwa na ako na bills of quantities na ako na pesa yote na anajua everything that he or she needs.
So
akianza kujenga hakuna kusimama, ni kaa tumeenda.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So in this case they are ready. You understand? So ni wewe ukuje ufanye mchezo yako hapo.
Yeah.
Uharibu.
By the way, I've ever seen fundis ama had stories about fundis who undercharged or underpriced and they end up cutting corners or doing shortcuts. Unaona material iliisha but ni juu ali underprice, maybe alikubali kufinyiliwa aka undercharge. So material kuna kakitu tu kameisha mahali, so either kama ni ameokoka sana ataingia kwa mfuko yake.
Yes.
Lakini sasa kama bado hataki kutumia pesa yake juu anajua alikosea kwa underprice, itabidi ya cut corners material au atumie kidogo mahali inafaa itumike mingi na mambo kama haya.
But kuingia kwa mfuko is also relative. Nani atakubali kuingia kwa mfuko? Yes, nakubali alifanya makosa, sikatai. Hata mimi nakubali nilifanya makosa. But mbona mimi niingie kwa mfuko yangu? You understand? There is always that thin line between you. Na ni mostly about ethics. So bottom line ni cheap
is expensive.
Exactly.
Lakini sometimes I think ukikubali ulifanya makosa si uingie tu kwa mfuko yako. Si umekubali, si umeona mbona ukusema mbona
ukwambia lazima nitakugeuzia at some point because akukosagi kashimo mahali kwenye ulipromise kitu na hukufanya. Nitakugeuzia at some point.
So wewe unasema utakuwa unaangalia hizo potholes hizo zenye ziko.
Akukosagi potholes zikuwa na ziko mingi sana, so lazima nitakupata. So there is no way. Yes, I accept, I own up my mistake, but niingie kwa mfuko wangu ni ngumu.
Anyways, guys, you can talk to us on TikTok. Tell us, ukiwahi patikana na makosa mahali ati underprice alafu materials kumekuja kumeshikana huku, unaweza rudi kwa mfuko yako? ati sasa useme wacha nirudi kwa mfuko yangu wacha ninunue sink juu hatukuweka pesa ya sink. Hata pia nitanunua nini ingine, nitanunua mpaka shower ama nini. Talk to us, tell us if you do that.
Pale TikTok tukiingia naona kuna mtu anaitwa Jose Threeface anasema salimia huyo kipofu. Sasa sijui kipofu ni nani hapa? Jose Threeface.
Kwani nani kipofu? Kwani tuko na vipofu kwa shule?
Wewe na director amuonagi vizuri.
No,
sasa sijui ni nani
you know, kama singekuwa naona singalikuwa na hiki kitabu, unaona. Kwa hivyo ambaye anasema less sioni. Sijui lakini shout out to you Jose, whoever is commenting.
Asante sana. Kama at least kama umeona kipofu umeweza kutuangalia. Tunashukuru sana. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. This is Keyman Community Live. Of course, we're courtesy of www.keymanstores.com. Wewe uko pale nyumbani and you need to make an extra income. You have an opportunity to make that extra income by becoming a plug today. And who is a plug? A plug ni mwenye anakusaidia kujua kwenye vitu ziko. For example, tukienda pale kwa matatu, kuna wale wanakuambia twende ingia hapo. Wewe hadi una negotiate pesa. Actually kuna wenye wanajipata mpaka wamemlipa, alafu unaingia kwa matatu, mwingine anaingia unaitishwa pesa,
usitake ku experience hiyo,
anakuambia mimi nililipa na ulilipa wapi? But anyway, plug wetu si hao. No, plug wetu si hao, but it's just an example of a plug. So what a plug does ni anakusaidia kuweza kuingia kwa platform na kunavigate through the platform. So that's being simple as that. Now once a plug ameweza kusaidia mtu kuingia kwa platform na akalipa verification na akakuwa verified, akakuwa na bank account, they get some 350 Kenya shillings. That 350 Kenya shillings inapatikana wapi? Kuweza kuverify ni 750 Kenya shillings. Sawa? 350 automatic inaingia pale. But lazima huyu plug akuwe
verified.
Asante sana. Na kuwa verified means you have a
bank account.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Now next ni how to make money as a plug. Wewe kama fundi asubuhi unaingia kazi, there are some few things zinahitajika. Bosi amesema anataka simiti 10, anataka simiti 15, but hamko mmepanga na haziko zimetosha. So you can just log on to www.keymanstores.com. Angalia supplier mmoja hapo mwenye ako karibu na place yenye unaishi, 10 kilometers radius. Once you do that na umeweza kuinitiate your contract, wewe utatengeneza contract, si wewe utalipa. Utaweka namba yake ya namba ya bosi alipe. Wewe utaweka KS namba yako kama referral code. Sawa. Once you do that, the contract fee is 200 Kenya shillings. Immediately amelipa 50 bob inaingia kwa account yako immediately. Now you can imagine uliingisha bosi kwa platform, alafu sasa wewe uko hapo, so ulikula 350, next unakula chwani. Tumefika 400 Kenya shillings. Now imagine doing that to 10 people in a single day. That is around 4,000 Kenya shillings. Why don't you trap into this thing and you move on very well? Next thing ni once umeingia pale hivyo na umefanya shughuli moja safi sana, umeweza kupea supplier ama hardware deal moja safi sana ya simiti 15, simiti 10 nini, uko akona opportunity ya kupea a tip. And what is a tip? A tip ni anakusema asante. Anarudisha mkono. And now the system automates itself. You can get a tip from 20 shillings to 200 Kenya shillings depending on venye umebamba system. Acha tuseme tu venye umebamba system. Si ndio? Na unaweza ipata aje? One supplier amekubali tu huyu jamaa aliniokolea, wacha nimwekeka kitu. System immediately inafanya. But that it depends solely on the supplier. So anyway, you can be able to join Keyman Stores, alafu utaweza kujienjoy.
Remember to always trade with the contract on Keyman Stores. We take a short break. We are coming back. Up next, Jichanwe. Good morning. This is Keyman Community Live.
I'll see you. Good morning. This is Keyman Community Live. Of course, brought to you courtesy of www.keymanstores.com. Ukiniona peke yangu, you just know this is G Chanue. Walinicheza kichanue yangu. Kichanue yangu iko wapi? But anyway, walinicheza but iko tu sawa. G Chanue brings you ideas ama inakufunza vitu mpya zenye labda unajua but ulikuwa umesahau ama things that are not normally talked about. Sawa sawa. And today we have one amazing one. Jana, we talked about planning.
Alex,
remember this week we were talking about mambo ya cost, ya project, nini, na how cost in affect project, both positively and negatively.
But I know we discussed
yesterday we talked about
planning topic.
And how so planning na cost zinaingiana. You can check that out kwa YouTube ya Keyman Stores. Miko pale tu ndani tunaweza kuongea kuhusu. Now today we want to talk about something different, but it is still in the same area. Now usha plan, si ndio? Tulisema kuna pre-construction, kuna construction, kuna post-construction. Sawa sawa. And this one cuts across mwenye anajenga na developer na fundi. Sawa. Na sio developer na fundi peke yake, kuna contractors, kuna nani hapo ndani, everyone hapo involved hapo ndani. And of course we're talking about cost. So after planning, the question is, what do you do in the case where umeplan ukarealize wow makosa imefanyika, nililipisha hii pesa kidogo. An example, Lydia Kelvin, the first project yenye alifanya, alienda because anahitaji kazi sana, akafanya nini? Weleta kichano yangu, hata trail of thought inapotea. Thank you. Asante. Haya. So Lydia Kelvin ameenda, amepiga project nini, kumbe alienda charge. And what happened in that case ni ati alipata kuna that black cotton soil yenye iko pale that needs to be excavated and removed ndio waweze kujenga vizuri. Hakuna hiyo, like the money was not counted there. You understand? So basically undercharging. Sawa. So what happens in that case? Umejipata, by the way. Umejipata in that case. You had not seen it coming.
Hakuna
you not seen it coming. Na si makosa.
Inakwambia baridi.
Well, ni makosa pase, but si makosa. I didn't see it coming. So what do you do in that case? So this is my thought. This is my understanding of that. It might cost you your job, but fiti sana kuenda going back to the drawing board. Unaambia developer maze hii na hii ndio kitu ile happen na we did not charge this very well. Chances are utaambia uende. That is the highest chance utaambia uende. But kuna this other chance ya manze you are honest. Haukuacha pesa yake ipotee ama haukujenga in that place yenye ile nini. Alafu unajua once you make that mistake you'll be able to learn next time to correct that mistake, because well you might say wacha nifanye hivi, wacha tu nilipe alafu next time tajipanga, but una hiyo pesa. You understand? So what is the best thing that you can ever do? The best thing that you can ever do is just being honest, come clean, own up your mistake. Ikibidi uende nyumbani, well and good, ni sawa, umelearn mistake yako. At least next time utafanya the same mistake, you will be able to talk to people. I remember sometimes last month we talked about coming together as a team. Na kazi ya mtu mmoja ni ngumu sana kushinda kazi ya watu wengi. Sawa. So kazi ya mtu mmoja ni ngumu sana kushinda kazi ya watu wengi. There is a saying in French that says watu wengi wanasaidiana kubebana. Haijatoka vizuri, but anyway, it is very important to have that togetherness which builds that confidence yako na ina build confidence ya mjenzi. Remember, the idea that we have here is to ensure that construction becomes more affordable each and every day, that everyone can be able to move from rental areas to their own place at least. Ama you rent but you have your own place pale ndani, so that vitu zikiweza chacha hivi kidogo you can be able now to move to that point. But always remember, saying the truth ama kukua msemo truthful pale itakusaidia sana, itakujenga sana kuweza move to the next project. Also, that has been me on J Chanue. This is Keyman Community Live, of course, brought to you courtesy of www.keymanstores.com. Na hapa tunasema we buy safe and we build smart. We meet tomorrow on another J Chanue.
Karibuni tena sana ndani ya Keyman Community Live. I am presenter MK and this is an amazing community of builders where we buy safe and build smart. Remember, if you are in construction, you can join Keyman Stores at www.keymanstores.com, or if you are in need of any service in construction or materials in construction, you can also ingia pale www.keymanstores.com and look for people hapo kwa Keyman Stores ambao watakupatia hiyo service ama that product. Remember, do not trade without a contract ukiwa ndani ya Keyman Stores, because only trade with those people who are verified hapo kwa Keyman Stores. And again, remember, you have an opportunity of coming here, just like we are having Alex here, we always have Lydia McKelvin, we have our systems architects na watu wengi wenye wamekuja hapa. So hata wewe, when you onboard on Keyman Stores and get a KS number, that is the only ticket ya kukuja hapa Keyman Community Live and talk to people, tell them what you do in construction or market yourself just for free. Our today's topic is cheap expensive in construction? Cheap is expensive, right? But we want to find out how is it expensive in construction? What are the things that you do in construction and you later on find out that enyewe this has costed me a lot na singefanya in this way. And yesterday we looked at underpricing and costing and underpricing, and we said that how costing is not guesswork. Leo pia tunaangalia underpricing vizuri. Sorry, yesterday was costing. Today tunaangalia underpricing. What would make a person undercharge or underprice a service or maybe materials? Sindio. Allow me to welcome the one and only Alex, who is a master in construction na atakuwa anatusaidia explore that topic. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Yes.
Baridi huko kwenye umetoka?
Sana. Lakini we are managing.
Yeah, yes. We must manage anyway. Yes. Alex, today we are talking about cheap work becomes expensive. And maybe you can start us off by telling us what does cheap really mean when it comes to construction? We know cheap, we know it kila mahali,
yes.
But where does it reach in construction? Unasema hii ni cheap.
Basically because most of the people who engage you to do the work, definitely they have done a bit of research for themselves. They could even have gotten a quote from other people.
Yeah.
There is nobody who develops or does a system in construction without first of all talking to people who are in the know.
Yes.
Therefore, maybe even your competitors. So sometimes they collect the figures from different sources so that now when they start engaging, they know at least what range will this cost.
Yes.
And by the time now they come to engaging the fundis, for example,
yes.
If you are being engaged to do electrical works, at that point, there is already a point at which they know it should range between 10,000 and 20,000.
Right.
So if you come with 5,000, the first thing will be to write you off. And many fundis do not realize that.
Yes.
The person you are talking to is not totally ignorant. It's just that they can't do that work because you are trained to do the ABCs.
Yes.
But at least when you tell them about the cost, they have done some basic groundwork. They could even have asked 2 or 3 other people. But then when you are the fundi, you want to get the job. And that's where now cheap comes in. You come in and try to underquote everyone. But now, the problem, the crunch time comes when if you ever get that job.
Yes.
Because there's also the very high chance you will not get it. Because if you're asking for 5,000 when everybody else was between 10 and 20, the owner of the business will say there's definitely something wrong with the work you're doing.
Right.
Or you don't know exactly what you're quoting. So you can lose the job at that point.
Yes.
Secondly, if for example you are doing secondary work, you're not being hired by the developer, but maybe by a foreman, and then you accept to do the work. Once you start doing the work, it becomes too expensive because now you realize materials only without your labor will be beyond that 5,000. So you will end up losing.
Yes.
Either leaving the site, which is very embarrassing because now it means in future you might not be able to get work from that person. Or you end up doing now shoddy work to cover because you don't have the money to cover it. So in this sector, it is yes, I know the competition is there.
Yes.
But it would be best if some people could just look at the job first. If I am to do this job, it requires this amount. And therefore, my quotation will be the best that I can do and still do a good job.
Right.
Yes.
I've just thought about something right now.
Yeah.
We are saying cheap is expensive.
Yes.
And of course, when you go to, an example, a hardware, you will find different types of materials. Hata kama ni tiles, there are those which are cheap than others.
Yes.
Then if cheap is expensive and you know when you use something cheap, it's going to cost you, then why do these cheap ones exist?
Exactly. I do remember sometimes going to other countries and finding out that sometimes this market for the cheap things is driven by the users.
Yes.
There's a country I know that what they do is they look for, let's say, let me give you a very easy example. They see a jacket like this and say they like that jacket.
Okay.
So they buy it from the original manufacturer or the distributor. Then they go to a factory and say, I want a jacket of this kind, but I want it to cost this amount. So there has developed a complete market for the third world, unfortunately, where now the factories go according to the demand. That jacket from the original manufacturer is 3,000 shillings.
Yes.
But you go with a sample of it and you tell them the manufacturer now, the new one, I need it for 1,500.
Yes.
Because you want to sell it for 2,000. So the same jacket you might see, and I know you know that.
Yes.
This is 3,000, this is 2,000. Why? Because now they sourced for cheap material in order to fit with your budget.
Right.
So there is a secondary market for making cheaper things because the market is driving the demand. Yes. But the real people know that a tile of the floor tile should cost between 900 shillings per box to 1,200. But here comes somebody else who wants a cheaper version. It looks very glossy, but it costs 600. So definitely the manufacturer will make it worth 600.
Yes.
So unfortunately, the secondary market for cheaper is there.
Right. Now, in construction, why would a client choose to, choose lowest price when they know that, okay, najua nimekuuliza, but outside that, outside ama in form of materials. Now, a client mwenye ana choose cheap, you see?
Yes.
What would make them choose that, apart from maybe protecting money or something? What would be that?
Most likely, it's usually trying to protect and use the least possible amount of money to get work done, or that construction done. But for someone, for example, who is building their home, they also want it to be for a long term. You know, in construction, we look at that a house might stay 50 years. So if somebody decides to use the cheaper material for a period of time, they know they are going to come back and do repairs. But at that time, maybe that's all they had.
Yes.
So yes, the client might actually choose the cheaper one.
Okay, so it's
because
an option.
Because of what their pocket is telling them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, why would a fundi agree to work
again
lower their price? The same thing.
Again, the same thing. The demand drives the need. So when a fundi sees that he cannot help me as the owner of the business to buy the good materials, he'll go by what I advise. But at least a fundi will have told him, tukiweka easy, in 4 years time you might have to replace them. But if the client is ready to do that, fine. So at least also the client also drives the business.
Yes.
So sometimes it's not just the fundi undercutting. The client could also determine what is going to be done. Because akisema yeye anataka hizo za 600, you want the work. So you will end up doing it.
Yes.
But we try to advise the fundis, to advise the clients. Yes, you might want this cheaper one, but it will cost you, because 4 years down the line, you'll have to redo the work. Yeah.
But now, are you trying to say that is cheap always bad, or is there a limit?
There is a reason why it's called cheap. Cheap means there is another version.
Yes.
But this is cheap. It means, therefore, there is the good one which should be done.
Yes.
But now you're looking to evade paying the higher price, and that's why there's a cheap one. So many times the cheap one is either not going to last, is not good enough, or it is a temporary measure. Yes.
All right.
Or for example, if you are constructing, let's say you have a lease of 5 years.
Yes.
And you want to set up a showroom. That's the time now I would understand if somebody went for something cheaper, because they don't expect to be there more than 5 years. Your lease is only. So if you are told this tile is 5 years, that's what you'll buy.
Yes.
But if you are going to it's something for a permanent construction, then you'll want the best out of it. So cheap has its place. Yes.
All right. There are times when a client might realize that this fundi has charged me a very low price.
Yes.
What are the reasons ambazo zitafanya client realize that he is too cheap? Maybe he won't provide the best.
Because like I said, many times when now the client is looking for something to be done or construction to be undertaken, they will have a notion or they will have asked 2 or 3 people who are in the know, those who know. For example, if they might come and look at a house and ask, well, how much did this cost? And maybe they're asking the owner of the house. Then you are told it was 6 million. They look at it and therefore they have an estimate. If I have 7 million, I can be able to do this house because this one was done 3 years ago. So you see, he has a rough idea, you know.
Yes.
But still engages now, for example, a quantity surveyor or a structural engineer or a mechanical engineer to now do the actuals.
Yes.
Now, unfortunately, if they engage the contractor, I mean the contractor now, the one who will do the actual work, he might now charge much less than what the quantity surveyor would have charged, because the quantity surveyor knows what kind of bars are required for this pillar, what kind of tiles, what kind of everything. So if therefore the person does not go that full length, you will find that the work that was originally set to be done in a certain way is not done. Yes.
Right. Is there any way that underpricing would lead to things like shortcuts on site?
Definitely. Definitely.
Talk to us about the ways.
You see, the fundis are all competing for that job, for example. Then now, whoever wins maybe is a person who wants to undercut everyone else. So he underprices. So when it comes to doing the actual work, they realize that, wow, I can't finish this job with that amount of money. So what will happen? They will start looking for shortcuts. You remember? So
Like?
if we are for this tile to be applied here, there is a layer of cement that's supposed to be put on before it is set. They will come and put a small portion of it. Next time people are stepping on the tile, what happens? In a crack. That is shoddy work. It could have been avoided, but because they are under priced, unfortunately. Yes, and that's where supervision now comes in.
There's an example we talked about with Brian. When and I know maybe you have ever talked about na wewe, but acha turudi kidogo. Whenever a fundi amefanya kazi and then hivyo materials imeisha nini, but it's because they undercharged from mwanzo, so cost inakuwa ya nani? Okay, tulisema mtu anaweza kataa kurudi mfuko, but si uli undercharge, si urudi kwa mfuko yako ama?
That's easier said than done. Kurudi kwa mfuko is very expensive. So definitely the fundi will try to look for ways and means. Unfortunately in the construction sector, and that's why a lot of people are paid on a weekly, some are even paid on a daily basis. Others weekly. Very few, maybe only the contractor gets paid on a monthly basis or per completion certificate.
Yes.
So the ones who are paid regularly on short-term basis, itafika pahali the best thing is to disappear from the work.
Oh, because they even don't have something to cover.
They have no money to cover what is required now. They have found they are short, but what do? Except disappear.
Run away.
You have no money to pay whatever is required.
Yes.
But big contractors now know they will never get their final payment until they finish the work. Now they take shortcuts.
Oh, so they still need to remain in that job.
Yes. Yes. There's even something called, I think it's in the construction sector, they kind of withhold final payment until the building is done, it's inspected, and the certificate of occupancy given. Then you are paid the final amount. So the contractor is forced to stay on site until that certificate is issued. So you see the contractor now, therefore, even if he has done shoddy work, he still has to cover until he is paid. But a fundi will just disappear.
Hey, but now, what will they be eating if they are paid after the work is done? Because a construction max who take how long? Kujenga nyumba.
For example, the house might take a whole 2 years. There are people, yes, depending on material supply, labor, depending on so many things.
Okay.
But consistently, if someone has everything inside, the fundis, the materials, everything, the certificates, everything is ready. 6 months can be done these days.
Sasa ningoje 6 months, Alex?
No, you see what happens? We agree when we are starting the job with
Okay.
the contractor, if I'm the developer. You do the foundation works and you put the walls up and you do the roof.
Yeah.
You bring a certificate from the quantity surveyor or the architect who is supervising the work. Once you show that that part of the job has been done, I make part payment. For example, 1/3 I paid. I could even have paid for what we call logistics. So depending on the certificate I get according to the stages,
Yeah.
I can keep paying you, but you have to complete that particular area. So many of these contractors have something called completion certificate. That means we decide we are taking this foundation,
Yeah.
you pay me. We do the walls,
Yes.
you pay me. We do the roof, you pay me. We do the finishing, you pay me. Then now you wait for the final payment. So again, the contractor does not have to wait until the end of the. It is too long.
You know,
It
now
goes by stages. You get a completion certificate and get paid for that portion. Yeah.
I'm thinking now, what if you kick the buckets and you have not even eaten any amount of your...
I don't think there's any contractor who would accept that they will do the whole job to be paid at
without
the
it.
end.
Yeah.
No, they usually have stages and they get a certificate for each stage and they get paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there are areas that are mostly affected by cutting costs. Maybe it's say the workers, labor, mini
Do
material.
you live in Kenya?
I live in Kenya, Alex.
You
Is it
have seen roads being done and 3 months down the line they have potholes. Or because
results.
somebody quoted this amount
Yes.
for per kilometer, which is 1/3 of the other quotations.
Yes.
So they'll come and put a thin layer of tarmac on top of Mara.
Yes.
The moment the vehicles start using the road,
Never.
in a bambuka. So that is a very clear show that somebody underpriced. Yes. But unfortunately, it's a whole setup. The engineer who is supposed to be the resident engineer for that project, for the contractor to be paid, he has to sign that it has been done. So what happens when he has been compromised? He will sign knowing very well this guy has put 1 inch and they had agreed on 6 inches. And that's why you're seeing even road construction jobs, bridges, they are going to foreign companies because foreign companies have a standard. They will not do certain jobs. If the tarmac says 1 foot, they will do 1 foot. And they will do a nice profile of the road after finishing.
Yes.
But now our contractors here, they compromise the engineer to sign for them that it is being done, yet it is not done, so that they give 30% to that. We are killing our own country. And this is happening even in now good construction. For example, if somebody is developing 20, 30 houses, you compromise the supervisors, the mechanical engineers. They sign for you, you get paid. Meanwhile, the moment people get into those houses, they start falling. But the contractor is nowhere to be seen.
Yes.
So unfortunately, that is another stage we might have to discuss about corruption at the construction sites.
Yes.
Because corruption is so prevalent.
And by the way, someone would assume that corruption qua construction sites.
You compromise the person who is supposed to supervise the work, and they look the other way. They pretend the tiles were properly done, yet they are not properly done. Because by the time you come to inspect the houses, you only see the finish. But underneath that tile, hakuna cement ya kutosha. So unfortunately, it happens a lot.
Right.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us right now, this is Keyman Community Live, brought to you courtesy of www.keymanstores.com. Remember, you have an opportunity of sitting where Alex is sitting today and talk to us about what you do in construction. Whether you are a service provider, you sell materials in construction, and a good example is you have a hardware, and this is the perfect place for you to be. We say that we are a community of builders and we enable you to buy safe and build smart. You can join Keyman Stores and get your digital store there. Thank you for keeping it Keyman Community Live. We continue with our discussion. Alex, have you ever come across a site where people are demotivated because of low pay?
Definitely. Unfortunately, the labor laws in Kenya, or the follow-up to the labor laws, where you say a fundi, a mason should be paid this amount, a carpenter this amount, sometimes gets compromised because people are competing for the same jobs. So unfortunately, a contractor decides he's going to pay for the cheapest. So that again, the same thing we are talking about, corruption. They know that a mason is supposed to be paid 1,500 shillings or 2,000 shillings per day.
Yeah.
But they look for the one who will charge 1,500. But they charge the developer 2,000. So that they keep 500 shillings per day from every mason. You see, that is... so what will the mason be forced to do? Cut corners. So it's unfortunate it happens. People get so demotivated, amelipwa pesa kidogo, but they need the job, so they keep doing it. But they are doing it with one eye, looking for the next one. They will abandon you as the moment they get a higher one. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
By the way,
They will abandon it. Yeah.
it's like how people are poached
Exactly.
from work.
From workplaces, yes. Today you have 20 fundis who come to work for you.
Yeah.
Then another guy opens a site, and suddenly you have no fundi. You start going to look for them.
Yes.
And that's why you'll always see. I used to see that on the streets of Nairobi one time. These painters would be seated somewhere outside a hardware, waiting for anyone who will come to hire them.
Yeah.
But that would mean, therefore, the contractor did not have their own contacts. Yeah.
Right. Do you have a worst case scenario where a fundi, of something a fundi did because of, demotivation from low pay? Kama unakumbuka kuna video, sijui kama ni wewe ulikuwa kwa show, mtu anabomoa whatever inaitwa
Whatever they had
gyps,
the gypsum.
anaitoa. I think for me that was
Very
like
hurting.
yeah.
For who?
Eh?
Who did
Okay.
you feel for? Who did,
Oh my God. Okay.
Who did you
You
feel?
know, I didn't know what ni nini. Okay, reason ilikuwa hakulipwa after
Yes,
doing the work.
He had finished the work.
Okay,
I remember seeing it.
I feel for the fundi first of all, juu hakulipwa na alifanya kazi. But again, I feel for that person juu sasa ataanza tena zero.
Exactly. Materials zake zimeisha.
Yeah.
He had paid for the labor, and now they have to redo it. You know, there's no way you can repair it, gypsum. So you have to pull it down, which is a cost.
Yes.
A fundi might stay a whole day pulling it down.
Wow.
Then now buy materials afresh, get another fundi to redo the work. So it's a pity both of them lost. But I feel worse for the fundi. Because to reach a point where you have constructed something like that, and then have to break it down yourself.
Must be very mad.
But I don't blame them. One site which we were supervising.
Yeah.
And you see the way they do. I told you the best example of knowing a carpenter who knows his job. Can you remember that lesson? Let me remind you.
Remind
because you
me,
might not.
please.
For a contractor to know that a carpenter is good at his work, they give them those kitchen drawers. If they can
I
make
remember.
them and fit them, and, so that they open easily.
Ikitoka smoothly.
Ikitoka smoothly, and it is not hanging. Mlango inafungika vizuri. So this guy had done wardrobes.
Yes.
And then I went to pull, and they were sticking on the side. They wouldn't flow in or out. They would stick, and then you'd have to push them aside for it to go in.
To go in.
You get so annoyed because you have talked to them several times.
Yeah.
So I just asked for a big hammer. And I broke it down. Rudia tena. He finishes the job, you tell him there's no labor because I had already paid you.
Yeah.
But because of the short work, but that fundi, because he was very good, I knew he had given someone else.
Okay. Ile unasema we chukua kama
hii wacha nikuletea another person so that he holds two sites at the same time.
I get it.
Yeah, ameenda kwa site nyingine amewachia mtu mwenye hawezi. So we broke it down and he had to redo the work. But you see, it's still a cost because that material is wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We take a very short break. We're coming to continue with our discussion, which is cheap work becomes expensive. This is Keyman Community Live. I am presenter MK PMK. Welcome back, amazing people, to this amazing, safe and smart space. We are happy to have you kwa live yetu and also watu wa TikTok. Asanteni sana for joining us. Remember, this is Keyman Community Live, brought to you courtesy of www.keymanstores.com. Kuna watu wanajiuliza, je, nikitaka kukuja kwenye show nitafanya nini? You just need to text us via 0757 539 on WhatsApp. Tuambie pale unataka kukuja kwa show. Vile vile ukitaka kukua plug ama mtu ambaye ana an extra income kwa Keyman Stores, text your number or reach us via our social platforms, that is Instagram, TikTok and YouTube, and of course Facebook, and mambo itakuwa sawa sawa. Our topic is cheap work becomes expensive, na tunaangalia in which ways cheap work inakuwa expensive. Alex,
Yes.
There's underpricing,
Yes.
Still hapo kwa underpricing. Does it affect decision making in a project, and how?
Definitely, because okay, the good thing is where there is different layers of in the organization. So there are those who know exactly what is supposed to be done on that site.
Yes.
If they don't underprice at that, they give the proper prices at that point. The chances, therefore, of show the work being done in between is lower. When you have a good architect, a good mechanical and a structural engineer, electrician, all these guys, quantity surveyors, when they are in agreement that this project should cost this, cost materials is this, labor is this, and the contractor is having this manpower, that is supposed to work very well. Problem comes when sometimes we think because somebody has been a contractor for years, now they can be given the project to build the house themselves.
Yes.
And because they have done these pillars, they have done these walls, they have done these windows, what happens? They decide they can do it. Not knowing that for that pillar to be done, somebody had known how much weight is supposed to be held, is supported by that pillar.
Yes.
So I need this amount of concrete, this amount of bars, this amount of whatever it is. So if people work the projects the way they are supposed to work,
Yes.
and everybody does their portion, that means you don't compromise on the standard. You have given the right pricing, so you buy the correct material. The project will be very well done. But where people now try to remove the mechanical engineer and decide, the architect said there's a pillar, then let's just have the contractor do it. Chaos.
Right.
Yes.
And what will happen, or what happens when time is reduced to fit a low budget?
Very wrong. Very wrong. Because certain things are supposed to work for a certain period of time. If it is the concrete setting, you cannot rush it. You can only okay, you remember the example I gave you when we say the house there's somebody already doing houses in 6 months and it's ready, and it's a mansionette, 4-bedroom, compound, landscaping, everything, even the perimeter wall. What this person does, and it made a lot of sense, we know that concrete is supposed to take 21 days for it to set. What he does, so that he goes to the upper room, he does not remove the scaffolding and support from the lower part. That means, therefore, as he's doing the 14, 13, 15 days, he's also doing the next roof. Sorry, not roof, but slab. Because the supports are still here, it will still take 21 days. But what the previous contractors used to do is, once they set it, they'll wait 21 days so that they start the next slab. But this person retains the support system, watering every day, and he's able to continue with the work, and that's why he's able to cut time. But now the problem is where the contractor agrees, because of the pressure from the client or from maybe another site, when they decide to cut corner time for things that cannot be done without that time being spent. That's where the problem comes in. And unfortunately, Or rather now, people know certain things have to take a certain period of time. You can't compress it too much.
Yes.
Yes, unless you have a new technology that is helping you reduce the timing.
Yes.
Yes.
How does cheap work damage trust between a client?
Oh, you can imagine. The moment you do cheap work, oh, you can imagine it's not something you can rewind.
Yes.
Hakuna repeat.
do-
Or what do you call it in hakuna comeback?
Haina
The
comeback
moment
here.
it's done badly, that person will forever hate that portion of work that was done badly. They can't do anything about it. So, do you think they would recommend you who did the job to another client? So,
I
when
don't think
trust
so.
is lost in a construction site, there is a ripple effect. You will not get new jobs.
Yes.
You will not get referrals. You will not get referred to someone else.
Yes.
And even now, your cost, your payments would come lower. If you are a contractor who did some shoddy work somewhere,
Yes.
now somebody will leverage and tell you, unasikia wewe ndio ulifanya ile kazi lakini haikufanyika vizuri. So now you're already compromised. You'll charge much less than
Yes.
you'd have charged because your name is already, the trust has gone down.
Yes.
So it is always expensive at the end of the day. Yeah.
Mpaka wewe inakuuma because everybody is
Inakuma
telling you.
because everybody reminds you of that you didn't do.
Yes.
For example, there is this famous road around one of the counties where we are.
Is it Nyoka Road?
No, that's too far. Just around here, and a contractor was given 500
Yes.
million to do a job
500 million.
and decided to do it for 250.
Eh.
The next thing, he's been in jail now for the last 6 years. Because unfortunately, the people who signed for you quickly disappear. You are the one on site. You never get another job. You get charged to pay 250 million. By the way, I think there's a standard rule now when you're caught with corruption.
Yeah.
You pay 3 times that amount. So if you had been paid 500 million,
You paid thrice.
1.5 billion, yes.
Eh.
That's the rule of the
That's
EACC.
very good because we can't keep on working with the
Exactly.
watu ambao wanatunyanyasa.
And they steal our money.
Yes.
We have to go back to our pockets and pay again. Because what people don't realize, when a contractor does a poor road,
Yeah.
it affects everybody in that area.
Yes.
And it is our taxes. So when this thing of wacha ni cut corner here and cut corner here, it's affecting all of us.
Yeah.
So therefore, 1.5 billion he couldn't pay, so he went to jail. Now think, a contractor who could get 250 million, or maybe he would have gotten 100 million net,
Yeah.
is in jail. Will he ever do that work again?
Hawezi.
He's delisted.
Yeah.
He can never get those tenders again.
Yes.
So
Career yake
that's
ni
the-
kama imeisha.
Exactly. You might as well go and look for something else to do.
Yes.
So what if that was your lifeline? So yeah, it might look very interesting at the short term.
Yes.
But in long term, there is a big cost to pay. Yeah.
And I think that's why we are having Keyman stores, because trusted people, verified people, people who have worked with other people, and that's why wako hapo ndani, because you get to see people who have worked with them, nani, it is evident that you can trust to work with them. Sio kuchukua
One
tu.
of the things that made me agree to come and be on this show
Yes.
was what I saw Keyman is trying to achieve. And that was bring people who are doing decent work, people who are supplying decent materials,
Yes.
people who are got proper labor, they are certified, bring them together, but still don't trust everyone.
Yes.
Let everyone have a contract.
Exactly.
That means when I get that person to do this work,
Yeah.
he has been verified that he can do the job. He has done this job before. When we give him work, the contract is the one that holds the two of us together.
Yes. Yes.
Until I say I'm happy with the work done, he won't get paid.
Exactly.
So he has reason
Yeah.
to do the correct thing. So Keyman Stores, I think, is going to fit in very well in the construction industry because of now bringing trust and then still going a step further, not just trust, but the fact that there's a contract existing. You'll only get paid when the client says you did the right job or supplied the correct material or you brought the correct labor. So Keyman stores is going to be a game changer.
Exactly. You hear that? If you have not joined the Keyman stores and you are in construction, then this is the right time to do that, because you only need a phone number and an email. Ingia hapo, pata your digital store there and get to trade with other people hapo ndani. Alex, what hidden costs are created by underpricing?
Exactly, because when you're underpriced, therefore, at the end of the day, you can imagine you had told me it's going to cost 30,000.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me we are already on 35,000. I might decide, okay, you might not have been very exact,
Yes.
but 5,000 we can manage. But now when you are telling me at 45,000 and it cannot be completed,
Yes.
that hidden cost is too much for my project. So I am tempted
Yes.
to kick you out. But then I also remember I have spent so much money on you. So I'm in a terrible situation. Yes, that's why the houses, for example, that was supposed to cost 6 million to build ends up being 8 million.
Yes.
Who is supposed to pay this 2 million? When you had given me the cost of the house will be 6.
Yes.
But after you have done it for 1 year, now you're telling me to add another 2 million for it to be complete. So this is what now makes people even shy away from engaging contractors. Because at the end of the day, you see, wow, 2 million out of 6 million, that's a very high percentage increase.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I feel that you didn't know your job and you therefore underpriced? Maybe you underpriced so that you get the job, but look how costly, because now some contractors are being held to account. It's a contract. You have to finish this job for 6 million. Now you realize you cannot finish this. What do? Well, you start taking corners. When you cut corners,
Yeah.
you compromise the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me give you a certain example we talked about yesterday. People are going on a hike somewhere, and you have to kuangalia fuel, chakula hivyo, and then they forget about that, because they kule wakipanga walisema we will charge you this amount, but they forgot about fuel nini. So pale mwisho
Yes.
mafuta, hakuna pesa ya mafuta. So what would happen to those who are planning?
That is exactly why some of these things we always ask, have you planned another trip, a hike like that one?
Okay.
Are you experienced in it? So that we know that now the cost you give us is actually going to do the work. So think of that hike. Now are you going to leave people in their badeas
The mountain.
because mafuta imeisha?
Naambia hatuwezi rudi nyumbani.
Would you ever go back to that company that was organizing that?
Hapana.
And unfortunately today, your name, you need to protect your name and your company. The moment you do poor work like that, people go on social media, they anika, you call it anika, they put that information there. The next thing, people will not, even people who would have given you that work, decide they will not touch you. So you lose much more by not doing the right thing.
Yes. But then that's why me every day I tell them to hike with Adventure Go Kenya. You know Adventure
Go.
Yes. Even you I must tell them to take you for hiking.
They will be surprised. I would be ready.
Or hata kama sikupanda milima, utembee kwa msitu, uone waterfalls.
No. We have done enough.
Because I've but climbed, you can do
done longer, not more than 5 times.
Hiking. Oh yeah. Okay.
You climb and go around the caldera. Yes.
So in short, I've never had such cases na Adventure Go Kenya. Atio hawakuketa for nini. It is trusted people, verified,
They want their name.
Yeah.
They want their
Who
referral.
wouldn't want that?
Exactly. So when you do the right thing, there are so many people who will want to encourage you. They will bring you new clients. And the people who go happy, they will represent you. They will market for you. Your marketing budget will be lower because you did the right thing. Now they are telling their friends, if you want to go to this place or this hike,
Adventure Go Kenya. How does underpricing now affect a builder's business growth?
They lose out. If they underprice, they cut corners or they are covering the cost. So they lose. Those two ways are just too expensive.
Cutting
a builder cannot keep cutting or having to cover for having underpriced, now they go back to their pocket. For how long? Then it means they're not in serious business.
Yes.
They would rather even not start that job.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are builders who will tell you, unfortunately, I cannot do it for under 6 million because I've given you the costings. This is what it costs, and this is my percentage. If you can't do it for that, I am sorry, it can't work.
Yes.
Do you know somebody will go market and then think, no, this is my house. I think that guy was right.
Yeah.
Then they go and you have a good agreement, you get a good job. So yes, you might lose a few jobs here and there because some clients are looking for the cheaper cost. But at the end of the day, who are the ones who will last for long? The ones who price it right, do the job right. Price it right, do the job right. Yeah.
Any other cost maybe apart from what do we call it? Apart from financial costs and reputation, maybe. What else would cost?
Reputational damage is quite big. First of all, yes, the financial loss, of course, and costings are very expensive. But then also there are those other associated costs. You see, like when it comes to certificate of, if a house is done, I don't know whether that is still being practiced in Kenya, where you cannot get into a house until you get a completion certificate and occupancy certificate. Now, when the estate, for example, you have done several houses and one did not take care of the drainage. So water keeps going into other people's compounds.
Yes.
Because of what you didn't do. That damage might not be costed anywhere, but it causes irritation to other clients and other neighbors. So, and unfortunately, that's why these days one of the selling points is build community. What do they call it? Gated community.
Gated community, yeah.
Because they expect everyone to do their portion, so that we know drainage kila mtu anajenga mpaka of this standard, of this height, of this, so water does not flow into other people's places. So there are some damages which you cannot cost.
Yes.
But if now a shoddy job was done within that gated community, then the reputation of that estate goes down, which can never be costed by money. Yeah.
I see someone here on WhatsApp. I think they're watching from YouTube. Sharon Shabil saying that hapa kwa cheap is expensive. Hiyo nayo ni ukweli.
Yes.
Watu huku nje wamefanyiwa maneno na cheap is expensive. Also Lucy Kare, asante sana. Ni kama watu wamefanyiwa maneno huku nje.
Oh, people have bad stories and it's unfortunate because the money was still spent. Yeah.
Right. And I want us to now look at how we will avoid cheap work. So what's the first thing that fundis should consider before taking the low job?
That they understand their job, their role,
Yes.
their cost. So that when they are costing a job, they know below a certain amount, I cannot do it.
Yes.
If material is not of this standard, I warn the owner that this, whatever I had presented in my portfolio, that your wardrobes are going to look like this. They will not look like this if you buy the wrong type of materials. If you set the standards and you say, I will not do a job below this amount, but if the client insists, I warn them early enough that it will not be what we had agreed,
Yes.
it will look like. For example, though, you know there are so many types of boards to be used for wardrobes. If you use the wrong type and then water leaks, the plumber has not finished the work ya tanks huko juu.
Yes.
You have done the wardrobes in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Water leaks. Some of those boards that you have used are the kind that absorb water. The next thing, they bulge.
Yes.
So even before you enter the house, the wardrobe cannot be used. So who will you blame? The plumber or the one who selected the material? Secondly,
Materials.
if there was a good foreman, they would have decided the tank must be finished before we put the wardrobe. So you see, that's why Keyman Stores is in this space.
Yes.
Can we have people who know exactly what should come first? So you're not having a fundi doing under the tank, a fundi doing woodwork, and the tank could still leak. Until it is finished, let them not do that part.
Yes.
So those kind of things are what makes us keep going to experienced people, people who have a reputation, people who have done it before. And I think people are going to have an easier time. Like those members who have said, huku nje watu wamefanyiwa vituko. It's because they have suffered the consequences. Yeah.
Right. Would that also make people in the construction industry be able to price services very well without losing clients?
Exactly, exactly. Yes, you'll lose a few because, as
Okay.
we said, there's a demand for those ones who want to spend less. People want to cut corners, who want to use cheaper material. They are looking at the bottom line of the cash. But at the end of the day, what happens? You lose the few, but you'll gain a long-term business because you are doing the right thing. Yeah.
Right. I keep on asking myself, prices za services for construction, nani aliset ati fundi nani aliset mafundi
It's a very gray area. But generally, there are guidelines. For example, I think the National Construction Authority has certain, they have set certain standards, I think. I'm not so sure because I've not seen them published, where now it is declared that in construction, a mason, an electrician, mtu wa mkono, all those setups are there. But there's kind of the unwritten code among contractors that mtu wa mason wa mawe analipwa this amount. The helper mwenye analeta mawe analipwa this amount. It's kind of an unwritten code.
Yes.
But I do think that the National Construction Authority has now standardized certain things. So services are a bit gray area. One electrician might charge 50,000. Another one decides 40,000. It's a bit, it has no standards.
Yes.
But at least it's within a certain range.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about value? How can value be explained to clients? Because, or maybe accounting for whatever amount you are charging. That one and the value now.
You see now the value system comes from the client because the client wants a certain standard. Then they should know that that standard costs this.
Okay.
If they decide not to take that standard, then it's up to them. But you have given them what it means. Yes. Yeah. Let's not be shy as fundis and contractors in telling the clients the cost of things. Yeah.
So do you give them options and tell them, if I do this for you, this and this is going to happen. If I do with this amount, knowing very well that ukifanya na hii ya chini mambo inaweza haribika na ikiharibika reputation yako, or do you just stick with that?
I think both ways. It's a bit tricky because you tell because the client also might be depending on you to know exactly how to go about it. So when you give them the option and tell them for this it requires A, B, and C. For this one requires C, D, and E. If you go with this, we might have a problem with this.
Yes.
If you give those options, the client is more willing to trust you. But now, when they choose the option, when now it comes to costing your work, that standard you shouldn't compromise on your standard because you know what you can achieve. You know what you are capable of. Yes.
All right. Brian, you can start preparing for the questions as I ask this last question now. Does trust help in, clients accepting the fair pricing? Lazima kukue kukona ile relationship fulani ya client na builder.
Yes.
Ndio ati ukimwambia price fulani anajua. Is it a must?
Yes, because that trust is the one that will make the developer or the builder and the whoever, the two parties, when they trust each other, I know you'll give me the right pricing and I know you'll get me the right work, services to be done. So when I trust what you're telling me is true, we are more likely to have a better agreement. But when I'm looking out and listening with the third ear, whether you are lying to me, we are likely to compromise. And compromise is costly for construction.
Right. Amazing. Remember, Keyman address Airbnb is a place in Nyeri County where you can go relax after building, ladies and gentlemen. Kama wewe ni fundi, hauko limited, wewe jenga maliza, uende upumzike pale ukitaka siku 2, 3 nini, na utakuwa sawa sawa. Ama namna gani Alex? Hiyo ya Airbnb pia, hiyo pia tutakusort hiyo pia.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Uende upumzike kule Nyeri County,
Oh.
uangalie milima na mabonde ya Nyeri.
Definitely.
Unaona?
Yes.
Amazing. Brian.
I like that.
That is so funny. Anyway.
Nimetoshea by the way.
Next time tuambie hata tukusongeshe kidogo.
Nimetoshea.
Sawa sawa.
Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
coming. Umejibu maswali zangu mingi actually. But I'd like to hear from your point of view.
Yeah.
Have you had an experience with low quoteless?
Yes. The previous place I was, where they were doing housing, where they would do like 30, 40 houses at a go. We had a lot of competing pricing. And because sometimes influence, you see, like the boards of different organizations could also influence on who gets picked for the work. So we had several instances where certain people would be picked, yet they were not the best. Why? Because that person has influence on the board. And where you don't have strict boards and you are doing 30 houses, then you bring somebody who will do the doors, especially metallic doors for the outsides. And the next thing you have are doors that are not closing well, they are grinding, they are not, the locks are not properly aligned. It is very expensive now to redo once they have been fitted. But if the right thing had been done from the beginning, do one door, fit it, let us see how it fits in, then now do the rest. So you have a competitive system of picking the people who will do the work. That would have been the best thing. So I remember people getting into the houses and suddenly doors are not locking. You see, the job has to be given now again to someone else to align that. That's very expensive. Because it's like we have spent another 30% on top of what should have been done. Because maybe the one who finished the doors just left the site and went to do something else. Now your clients are here ready to enter the houses because you have already sold. What do? You take it upon yourself now to have it repaired. So it's very expensive. So magnified. Imagine if 2 doors per client and there are 30 houses, that's 60 doors being reworked. That's how expensive it can get. Yeah.
Even if it's 10 shillings, it's still an extra cost.
It's 10 shillings for the actual door. There's the labor. There's the time. Yes.
It's expensive.
All those are resources being wasted. Yeah. So that's why it is very important to do the right thing at the right time, at the beginning.
Nice. Now, you have a question?
No, continue.
Okay. Now, in this case, now there is that part of quite cheap is expensive, somehow. And then there are these now, I don't want to say per se government, but in some cases, kuna projects are given. Understand? The bidding process always is the most inakwagaje.
The tendering system.
Yes, the tendering system. What happens? Inakwaga the highest bidder or the lowest bidder?
It's supposed to be the lowest bidder.
The lowest bidder.
But there is always caveats. There is always conditions. Because by the time we are asking people to tender, we already have our technical team have already said, for this job to be done, it is 200 million.
Yes.
So anybody bidding 220 is acceptable. Beyond that, anybody saying 170, they are kicked out already because our technical team have said this thing cannot be done under 200. Then you come and say, I want to be the lowest, I'll do 170. You get kicked out.
Yes.
Again, if you come and say 250, you get kicked out.
Yes.
So now they have a range of who to. Then there is the technical capacity, there is the financial capacity. So it is not always the lowest bidder. It's also their capacity to do the job. Yeah.
So the point is, they give out that tendering process, and then you may find they will take they know the amount that
Yes.
they want.
Yes.
So they take the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
Then give him that ultimate amount.
Yeah.
And then
Are you being political?
I'm not being political.
Because there was this just last week. Yes.
No, I mean I don't know actually.
Ameongeleshwa na Roho Mtakatifu.
No, I have never been in
Yes,
such
we're a contractor, and I will
circumstances.
not mention the contract because it might be tricky. 22 was the lower bidder. After doing technical evaluation, financial capacity, all that, bid for 22 billion. Then another one bid for 27. The 27 one was given the contract. And then today, you know, they can appeal. The 22 person appealed. And then now ikalipuka into the open. That person had been told, you will get the job for 27, but this 7, this
Okay.
5,
It's not yours.
this 5 is not yours. It's a shame.
I've never seen that same thing. I actually don't know what happened
Yes.
about that, but I've never seen that thing before because I've worked with contracts before. I've worked with a contractor before. Na Jumino nilikuwa namsaidia kujaza
the quantity.
Niambia weka variation, nipe variation ya like 20% of
Okay.
what is
Yes.
done,
Yeah.
because that is what they are saying. This 20% is not ours. It's private.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
even governmental. It's private company. Nasema this 20% is not ours. It is for the engineer, the contractor, vitu kama hizo, so that you just get that contract, because it was highly competitive.
Yes.
So you see now that one trickles down to the cost.
Yes.
Now according to the book, you are given the whole
amount. Yes. So what happens when you get on the ground?
Yes.
You cut corners in order to accommodate the pricing, because you know now finally you never got this amount. So what happens? You do because these same people you have given the 20% are the ones who will certify that you finished the work. So it's a very bad system. But that's what is available now.
So in short, that's how
We get the work done. Yes.
And construction becomes expensive.
Very expensive. Because a job that would have been done for that amount now has to be 50% more to accommodate who? These people being paid that.
Now, talking about costing in construction, why the cheapest is always the most expensive one. Now, there is a story of loans.
Yes.
For example, I want to build. Now, nitasema walai sina pesa, wacha niende mortgage. Ama walai sina pesa, let me take a loan. How does that come into play?
You see, that's the thing that really is compromising a lot of people, and some people are even losing their houses, their their businesses, because now when you have no money, or let me turn it around, in a classical case where a person does not have enough money, but they know that once this house is finished in the next 8 months, then I'll get tenants to start paying, then I can service my loan. Then the contractor does not finish in that time.
Hey.
The bank doesn't want to know.
Wewe ulikuwa umejipanga hivi.
Umesema in 8 months I'll start repaying my loan. Because contractor alikwambia in 6 months tamaliza, then you give 2 months for getting tenants. Now from September I start paying. Contractor by September is still on site.
Oh my God.
You have no tenant. The bank just says, see you listen.
Weka mali yangu.
They give you a warning 2 months.
Yeah.
The third month, they call auctioneers.
Ile yenye ulijenga.
So
everything goes.
So it's the same way na venye unasema wacha nijenge niuze.
Exactly. You have taken a loan to do to construct the houses and then sell to repay the loan. Then they are not done. And you had said by this time I'm starting to pay you. Yeah. You'll have thought by this time nitakuwa nimeuza moja, another 3 months another one, so I'll be able to service. Then the contractor amekuweka chini. The second thing is what we have been discussing. The person has done the houses, they have cut corners. This first day we come into the site, we kanyaga the tiles, they are cracking. you have no one to sell the house to. And suddenly, you have finished houses that cannot be occupied. The bank is on your back. That's how so many companies have. Sometimes these real estate companies or housing companies are not going down because of their own faults.
Okay.
It's something that went wrong in the system. And I think that's what Keyman Stores is trying to address. Can we have genuine people doing genuine work so that when we tell the bank by September,
Yes.
then the contractor has done their part, they have done finishing properly, it's constructed well,
Yes.
occupancy is 100%. September is start repaying. And everybody is happy. But now the problem is cheap is
Expensive.
How does planning now answer that question?
it is everything. Planning is everything. Actually, they say failing to plan is planning to fail. So if you don't plan, all this can go, all good plans can go to waste. And it's very expensive in the construction sector.
So you've planned
You have planned very well.
very well.
Yes.
Makosa tu kidogo ikafanyika.
Yes.
Unajua makosa hupatikana.
Yes.
Makosa ikafanyika.
Yeah.
Na kuongea ukweli, amko mmepiga hesabu ya black cotton soil kwa field na mkafika mkaipata.
Yes.
What happens?
Now, there I want to disagree. Before you say my plan is ready, you should know whether you have black cotton soil or not.
So pia hiyo inaanza hapo hapo kwa
inaanza
soil.
hapo. Hiyo inaanza hapo. Mapema sana. Yeah, the moment you see the plot, somebody does a soil profile. You know where you see what is the stonework. So that you know which kind of nini will be done, how long does it take, do we need to scrape off this cotton soil or do we use pillars to support the house instead. So planning, you cannot avoid the cotton soil in the planning.
But assuming tu makosa imefanyika, si black cotton.
Yeah, any other.
Makosa ingine.
Yeah, they could even be as tremors and the building tilts. Yeah, so there are two things. One of them is having good banking systems which have insurance capacity within them.
Okay.
You see, for example, now you can take an insurance external or even through the bank. In case of such things, what happens? The insurance can decide to step in, pay on your behalf. For those 3 months you are delayed, then now you will pay the insurance plus the bank. And everybody is.
So
there are enough players in these Keyman stores. If you involve them, people can do very serious
So in
work.
short, tunarudi tu bado kwa systems.
System is everything.
Yes. So hapo hakutakuwa ile maneno ya the cost is on you, client.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us right now, we're talking about how cheap work becomes expensive, and you can talk to us on YouTube and TikTok and tell us your experiences of how you bought something cheap but later on ilikucost. Sawa? So Alex, kuna kitu kinasemangwa hivi, kuna mambo ambayo hayatafunzwa kwenye darasa lolote. So hii mambo ya underpricing and cheap is expensive education, kuna mahali inafunzwa hivyo ama you just
Well, I do know that in the construction industry, because there have been already colleges way back, polytechnics, the village polytechnics and the higher national diploma colleges and all. They have those, that people who have gone through that system are taught all these kind of things.
Yeah.
Not exactly, because again the field, and that's why we look for experience. That's why you keep asking for an experienced person. So some of these things might not be taught in school or in a class setting, but in the field, there are enough people with the information to be able to cater for that. Yeah, so that's why we always attach new people to the masters who have done the work before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by the time you navigate the
Yeah,
industry,
you have learned quite a bit.
All right.
Yes.
You have another question?
Yangu hata ni final say. We've talked about so many things.
Yes.
What is your advice now to that contractor, that engineer? Ama mtu yote mwenye anataka kucost vitu, ameshafanya makosa, hajui kitu ya kufanya.
Ama anataka kuavoid cheap work rather.
Tuanze na mwenye kitu ya kufanya hapo stranded.
Okay.
There could be a lot of variation, but let's just put it this way. You have realized something has gone wrong. The best thing is to own up, first of all. Take responsibility.
Yeah.
Something has gone wrong. For example, you have gone, the house is ready, it has been painted, your finishing is fantastic, then you realize there's a crack. 2 weeks later the crack is longer. Own up and now look to the experts, because there will always be an expert at something. What do we do? Because the house is ready, but apparently one side is weaker, that's why it's developing a crack. What kind of support system can we use so that it does not continue cracking? So it's good to own up the mistake and now look for professionals who can, because professionals are there. I don't know what area there are no professionals who can help. So the idea is to own up to the mistake, look for people who can now address the issue. Yes.
So to that person who wants to avoid cheap pricing, underpricing.
Those who want to avoid that, always know first of all, know your capacity. Know your services. Know material costs. When you are told, quote for this, go and do a proper research. Don't say, I know that the cost of this is this. Like now, 2 weeks ago, steel was costing very different from what it is costing today because of the war. So you cannot say the price, because you bought in January, you know the pricing. Go back and find out what is the current price, so that when you quote, you have the current. So don't be lazy at pricing your work. Looking for the right material, getting the costings. You have to keep advancing yourself, getting information, so that you can utilize it now for pricing. Yes.
Athanganga is saying that ashainunua perfume. This is out of construction though. Ashainunua perfume tu mahali because it is cheap and it's the same. It's the same branding. Whatever he's used to buy, and then akienda kuspray. Sitaki kujua ni harufu gani. Sitaki kujua ni harufu gani.
Kuna swali moja.
Haina shida.
Just something. Something for Arsenal fans.
Something for
Arsenal fans.
Oh dear, I don't even know what happened.
You don't have hauna copy?
Sina copy.
No.
Yeah,
they gave the trophy to Man City.
Gave or lost?
Yeah.
Lost again.
They gave them, it was their game to win.
Oh.
You know, Alex, this is that team that is used to winning. And like they are like everyone else. See mtu anaona kila mtu see team, unaona?
So when it doesn't go their way.
Alafu siku yao ikafika.
Wanaitaka
Mungu na yeye ni nani?
Next season. So you are a fan of movies. So they always have next season. So even this season is next season.
Anyway, I think that's why it is the longest running and the most admired league. Not team, league.
Karibu tukwambie sasa Alex enda sasa.
Because there are always things happening that change the context.
And you know the only kikombe or cup they could get ni ile tu kikombe ya nini? Kikombe ya supu.
No comment.
Asante sana Alex for joining us today. We are always grateful for your insights here on Keyman Community Live. You can talk to people about trading with the contract and then tuende tukifunga hivi.
Before I talk about trading with the contract, Alex, unaweza waambia tu kitu yenye wewe unafanya.
Rudia pale,
Okay, I do corporate training. That means I train people on leadership. I train people on management. I train people on personal development. Personal development is what we talked about, the skills that you need. For example, communication, attitude, relationships, professional etiquette, you know, how you handle yourself. All these things I train for people who are in the working space. And those people in the working space include you contractors, you in whatever specific area you are, whether you are a service provider, you are a buyer, you are a seller. There's a certain way of communicating. So those are the things that I train people on. I also have a big interest in and passion in health and wellness. And therefore, I also help people understand that they could do something with their lifestyle to avoid the big chronic diseases. And finally, I also advise people on personal finance, budgeting, saving, and actually show them areas where they could invest and earn much more. There's no need for your money to sit in the bank. It could be working for you. That's when they say, if you are not earning money when you are sleeping, then you are not totally alive.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me remind them something on your behalf that you've forgotten. That you sell a book. You've written a book called Life Skills for You, and it goes for 1,000 shillings.
Thank you.
Sindio?
Yes.
Eh.
Very good. Thank you. Yes. There's a book you can read for yourself or
Yes.
listen to it because it's also on audio. Thank you for that reminder.
All right.
Very well.
Tumalize tuende tukienda.
Asante.
Also, remember you can be able to trade using a contract on Keyman stores. And all you need to trade using a contract ni ensure that una trade na mtu mwenye ako verified. Verified means ako na bank account na ako na kale katik pale kwa store number yake ama kwa store yake. Sawa? So always remember trade using a contract. Ukiona unataka trade na mtu na hana contract, ameweka namba yake pale. Please usitumie ile namba because if anything happens, there is no contract. You can always be able to trade using a contract. Na ukiweza kumengage on the other side of the channel, ataweza kuona kuna mtu mwenye anataka trade na yeye na anahitaji kuwa verified. So they'll be given a few some time hapo hivyo waweze kuwa verified alafu work that way. That has been me on Keyman Community Live. This is the big voice, the real deal. My name is Brian Jenga. Tukutane kesho, same time, same place.
Na kama kawaida lazima niwapatie watu wangu shout out ambao wamekuwa wakitutazama, starting with Lucy Kare, asante sana, Athanganga, Sharon Shabil, and of course Dan Tajiri. Asanteni sana na watu wa TikTok, Guru Visuals pale, Nico the Plumber, and shout out to our director Brian, Keyman 001, Evelyn, Purity, and Blessing, and of course shout out to Alex for the insights, and my co-host Brian Jenga. And Keyman address Airbnb in Nyeri County is the place to go and relax, and of course going to the mountains. You look for Adventure Go Kenya pale Instagram, because those two things, they go hand in hand. Unapanda mlima, unakuja, unashuka, unapumzika. I am your host, presenter MKP, MK, and this is Keyman Community Live.